Hey friends, today we are going to talk about how to get more ease and flow in your business. This is a topic that I personally love to talk about because I think that we are always trying to find that balance. And I always say it's kind of like a yoga pose because you're always trying to tweak your body a little bit here and there to make sure that you have a really good balance. So if you have been feeling like, gosh, why can't I figure this out already? Just know that that's part of it. Our lives are always changing, our businesses are always changing, marketing is always shifting a little bit, right? So we have to shift as well. So finding that balance, creating more ease and flow in your business is always something that is going to be important. And one of the best ways that I think that we can do that is to be really aware of our superpowers and our skill set. Now, the reason why this is important is because what we usually do whenever we are trying to find our footing and like figure this whole business thing out, or when we're getting ready to make a big shift and really expand what we're doing, what often happens is we look to see what other people are doing, right? And sometimes we even invest in having other people tell us what to do because we just don't know. Now, neither one of those are a bad thing, but here's the catch. If you are not really aware of your own way that you like to do things, of what your superpowers and your skill sets are, this can actually hurt you way more than it can help you. And that is why a lot of times when you hear stories and people are talking about how they, built their business, how they did this thing, whatever it is that they do, they often say, well, I was completely clueless. I had no idea what I was doing, but that actually worked in my favor. And I think that that's really the biggest reason why is because of waiting for someone to tell them what to do, that they really took the initiative to just figure it out. And in figuring it out, they did things their way. And so it worked best for them. And that is why it's key to knowing those things about yourself to create more ease and flow inside of your own business. So, your skill set is the thing that you're really good at. And the funny thing about skill sets is this is where all of that training comes into play. So, whether it was school, internships, job experience, even just like on the job experience when it comes to running your own business. So, all the things that you've learned how to do, like video editing or any of that kind of stuff, those are skill sets. And you can actually be really good at something at a certain skill and not even like it, right? And so that can be also be kind of confusing how that can work too. So you can be really great at something and not love it, but it's your skill set. Um, and then when you have your superpowers, these are the things that you are just naturally really great at. And so these can really vary a lot as well. What is natural for you, what feels easy to you. And this is what people I find are underrated. So often people feel like, well, if it's not hard, then nobody's going to pay me for it. If it's not hard, then I must not be stretching myself enough. And this is really interesting because I don't know why we think that. I don't know why we have this mindset that, like, if it's not hard, then it's not valuable. But I see it over and over again, and I have 1,000% been in the same boat. I even think a lot too when I was in art school, how what came natural to me, I thought, oh, I'm not pushing myself enough. Like this, if it comes natural to me, it's probably not good enough. And so I would really push myself to try to master different styles instead of just going with what felt natural and easy to me. And that now I think about it, it's insane. But at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do. So, identifying what's your superpower, so what feels easy to you, because that's a great place to start. And then what your skill set is going to, like I said, really help you when you're trying to figure out big decisions inside of your business. And those types of decisions are who to hire, how you want to market your business, and what kind of investments are the right investments for you. So, when it comes to who to hire, when you are really good about knowing your skill sets and then also your superpowers, because you may be amazing at video editing, or let's say like, for example, I can edit my own podcast, and I did in the beginning, but do I want to do that? Absolutely not. It's super time consuming, and listening to your own voice that much is not recommended unless you really love the sound of your own voice, which I don't. So that would be an example of something that I knew that, yes, I can do this. Do I want to do it? No, I definitely want to hire. And that was the first thing that I hired out that was like on a regular basis. So a contractor that I work with all the time, and it's my podcast, and it felt like a million bricks lifted off my back. Like I would pay him again and again when I do pay him all the time, right? It's like the best money I ever spent. So knowing your skill set, knowing your superpowers, great way for you to identify who's the best person to hire for your business. Who's the next person that you should hire? So even if you can't do it, maybe you just don't want to, or knowing that this is something that I'm not great at. So maybe when you think about your sales process, you are super great at the initial connections, getting out there, creating content, generating those leads. When it comes to the follow-up portion where you have to get their contract and you have to do all of those things, you just kind of drop the ball. Like your steam just kind of goes, right? That's a great thing to know about yourself because you know exactly when to hire. Now, knowing your superpowers is a little bit different when you're making other kinds of decisions, like how to invest, how to market your business. So, and this again is where I was saying how sometimes you can really get led astray here and start investing in the wrong things, or just making life really hard on yourself trying to be something or be a person that does something that just really doesn't fit with your personality at all. So there's a difference between stretching yourself and recognizing an opportunity for growth and really just swimming against the current. There's no reason, like nobody's handing out badges. Um, Making it hard doesn't mean that you deserve it more, that you're more valuable, that your business has more equity in it. None of those things, right? So let's just stop thinking that it does. It can be easy. That is a good thing. So creating more ease and flow inside of your business, recognizing your superpowers. If you don't really know what those are, I think a great place to start is to just make a list of things that, excuse me, when you think about your business, get you excited. So you can kind of feel your energy go up, like you just get excited. One of the things that I really love to do is to meet people. So I really love podcasting and getting to talk to people. I also really love the simple strategy calls that I offer. They're free calls. I get to meet so many people doing that. And, a lot of times it's people who are maybe we wouldn't have met because they weren't ready to invest, or people who, maybe they're just like they're really new in their business or they don't know where to start. And a lot of times I get to talk to people who are in industries that I wouldn't generally think were my ideal clients. So it's just so neat to meet so many different people. And a lot of times it's people that I form friendships with, and sometimes they turn into clients, like whatever it is. But I really love to do that. And so if I were to, well, I actually did talk to a coach once, and she said, "Oh, you don't need to be doing all these calls. We need to rearrange this so that you're not doing all these calls." And I thought, but I want to do these calls. And so I knew that that wasn't the right relationship for me because she was pretty insistent on, like, this is not the way you do it. And I don't think that that's the right way to coach somebody. I think that you take their skill sets, you look at their goals, and you look at their superpowers. So, what is really natural to them? And that's where you form a strategy around that, because that's what's going to get you results. Like, why take something that works and just don't do it anymore? So I think that's a really good example to show how, if you don't know those things about yourself, you can kind of get led astray and then feel like, gosh, why didn't this work for me, right? And that actually makes you feel worse when you try to do what somebody is telling you to do to get a result and you don't get the result. You are usually going to be like, oh, what is wrong with me, right? Why didn't this work for me? So I don't like to hear that people feel that way. And obviously, I don't ever want to feel that way either. So knowing what comes natural to you, what feels easy, what parts of your business just really get you excited and feel good. So that could be writing. It could be that you love Instagram, like whatever it is. And then thinking about the stuff that comes really natural to you. Like you may be a person who is crazy organized and so good at systems, but maybe you're not good at some other things, right? You may be a person who is awesome at networking in person, but kind of struggles in the digital format. So really think about, what is it about that in-person relationship that is so easy that you're so good at? Those different things, and knowing that about yourself, will make marketing your business so much easier. It will make investing so much easier, because if there's a place where you feel like, gosh, I really need to figure out how to take this thing that I'm good at and apply it in this different place, then someone can help you. If you are thinking like, I love having community, and so I'm going to start my own community, but I would really love to have some coaching around how to build that community out. That is so specific and so great to know. So then you can talk to someone who is great at building communities and get some advice, and really make the distance between starting the group and like getting the results that you want from it so much shorter. So I think that the best way to get some more ease and flow into your business is really a lot of knowing what's good about yourself, knowing what your strengths and weaknesses are, and instead of going against the grain and fighting that by trying to do things the way that somebody else does it, or trying to do the stuff that you really hate to do instead of hiring it out, or just making yourself try to fit into a mold that doesn't work with you, forget all that. It's not worth it. Like I said, nobody's handing out a badge. There is no one way to do things. So the more that you're open to doing things the way you want to do it, when you are listening to your in a guidance system, when you are doing things your way, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel easy. You're going to be like, wow, I can't believe that this is happening like this. That's the way it's supposed to feel. So it's really worth taking the time to do things your way, to be open to getting those nudges to do things one way or another. It's a really great thing to be able to see those things about yourself. And, if you're not sure, you can actually just hire someone to help you figure that out, how to do things your way, right? And that's a big part of what we do inside of Fearless Fundamentals. So if you haven't heard about it, Fearless Fundamentals is my group coaching program. I'm going to leave a link here so that you can read all about it. So me telling you all the boring details. But basically what we do is we build off of the 4 fundamentals that I think that every successful business needs. And that is clear messaging, because so often I do audits for people and it's like, well, the problem is nobody really knows what you do. And so you don't want that. So we work on your clear messaging. Then we work on a business model that has scalability into it, because there's no point in putting all of your effort into building a model that you don't have the capacity for, that you can't grow, right? So we start with a business model that actually works for you instead of against you. And we also work on your strategy. So creating a system for getting clients on repeat. That's key, right? That's key to being able to grow your business. Because if you know how to get one client, you know how to get 2, 10, 20, whatever it is. And the last part of that is a magnetic mindset, because if you don't have a success mindset, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in your offers, if you don't think that you're worthy, all of these things that go on inside our crazy heads, then you don't actually take action. And the action is what gets you the results, which is creating the business that you really love. So I'm going to drop a link below this video for you to check that out. If you're wondering like, well, I don't know if it's the right time, I'm not sure if this is the right offer for me, then we just get on a call and we talk it out and we see, because you have to apply for this, because I don't want you to invest in something that's not right for you. So it may not be the right time, it may not be the right program. I just may not be the right person for you, but I would love for you to apply and let's see, because it's always a good time to invest. And the reason why I say that is because it never feels easy. Josie's trying to show y'all her dog. It never feels easy, but it's always good to invest in your business when you need support. And I believe that, success is inevitable when you believe it and when you get the right support. So I'll drop that link below for you guys to check it out and apply. And also remember that this is launch week for the Magnetic Entrepreneur Podcast. This episode, the first episode, will be live either today or tomorrow, because honestly, we're still trying to iron out some kinks in the format and the publication of it. But, that's life. Things happen, don't they, Josie? They do. They happen. So I would love your support with that. And I will see you guys later this week.